Today's question is what do when you feel beyond in love? What do you do when you feel beyond in love? By Constance and Swipping. Like, so the link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out. So let's into this question in 3, 2, 1.
So, what can you do when you feel just behind in life? I think it's something that we always seem to feel like it's just a natural
Let me
kind of.
rewind it.
So, what can you do when you feel just behind in life? I think it's something that we always seem to feel like it's just a natural kind of human trait where we just feel like we are behind everyone else. We see these people on social media
Yeah.
who are doing all these great things at such a young age, or
Yeah.
we might know someone who's absolutely killing it, and we
Killing
wake up
it,
and we
yeah.
don't really have direction or purpose. Chances are, if that is you watching this right now,
Yeah.
there's a reason you're here. And I'm going to do my best over this next however many minutes this ends up being to help you break free of this and have any actionable next steps to actually overcome it. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Carson. This channel I kind of just dedicated to me sitting here raw and unfiltered, just talking about some of the things I'm going through in life and some of the things you might be going through. That way you can learn from me to help you live a little bit of a better life. So, why do we feel behind in the first place? Why is it that we get these feelings of, wow, all these other people are so far ahead of us, so on and so forth? To really uncover what this means, we have to dig down to the root, because at a surface level, it is just comparison. We're comparing ourselves to these other people, which is making us feel like dog. But it goes much, much deeper than that. So, when you look at this and you really start peeling back the layers, you think, okay, it's comparison, but why am I comparing myself to this person? Chances are it's probably because you have some sort of lack of worth, or you don't have confidence in the actions and the steps you are taking to achieve your goals. You remember back to all of those times where you know you should have been doing something, you know you probably should have gone to the gym and done a workout, you know you should have woken up a little bit earlier when your alarm went off, but you didn't. And so it makes you less confident in yourself. So when you see other people achieving these things, there's a part of you thinking, you know, I probably could have been there if I did everything right. I could have been at that same spot. But I'm not. And that's because the actions I take. But our brains, they're not just going to accept, this is my fault, I did this to myself, it is what it is. No, we are going to look at these other people and we're going to say, well, they're lucky. They got hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
They have this, this, and this. That's the reason they were able to be successful. Instead of looking inwards at ourselves and saying, this is my fault. Even though subconsciously, we know that it is.
Yeah.
Social media, I think, is one of the absolute biggest reasons why we think like this in the first place. Because we have access to so many more people. If we look back to our grandparents, our great-grandparents, whatever it might be, the only people they knew were the people in their neighborhood, people they went to school with, family, friends, that's it. They couldn't see people in Florida. They saw people in their little town, their little neighborhood. That's it. So the pool of people they can compare themselves to is much lower. Dating was much easier because they were comparing their partner less to everyone else. Their pool was much smaller. Now, we can see these anomalies from all over the world. These people who have done the hard work, who have been consistent, who have done the things that we know we probably should have done, but didn't. And that makes us feel horrible. It lowers our self-worth.
Yeah.
When you compare yourself to other people, you are naturally putting them higher than you are. This can do one of two things to you. First, it can either make you feel like, wow, this is inspirational. I want to try to strive to be that person. Or two, it can make you think of excuses and find reasons why you are where you are and they are where they are. That's it. When you look at someone who's successful, you see one of those two things.
Yeah.
But what can you actually do? So now we know the reason why you compare yourself in the first place, and obviously why it freaking sucks and why you feel so behind in life. But what can you do? What are the actionable steps you can take from here to feel like you're getting back on track?
Yeah.
I want you to reframe your mindset and the way that you believe things to be. Mindset is, without a doubt, one of the most important things when it comes to improving your life. Inside of Elevate Basecamp, as well as Elevate, everything that I teach, mindset is the first most important factor that we shift. Because without an open mind, without a mind that is primed and ready for change, it doesn't matter what content you take in. You could have the best education of all time, but if your mind is not open and ready to change, it will not matter. So mindset's the first thing that you need to focus on, first and foremost. Inside of Basecamp, which is my free community, link is in the bio if you want to check it out. But inside of Basecamp, we have a small section on opening up that mind. Not as in-depth as Elevate, of course, but it will get you started. But you need to open it and be ready to change. Understand the reasoning on why you think the way you do, and understanding that everything that you believe is something that was learned throughout time.
Yeah.
It's not something that you were born with. It's something that you developed by seeing other people, watching movies, watching your family, friends, whatever it might be. Everything you know is learned, which means it's not you. It's micro versions of all these other people that you combine into this version of you. So it can change. The stuff you believe can change. The way you see the world can change. And it has to. So first and foremost, open up your mind. Understand that you are not behind in life. You are on your own journey compared to these other people. We were talking when I went to Arizona with my family and my girlfriend. Me, my girlfriend, and my dad always talk pretty in depth about this kind of stuff, just like life and the meaning, all that fun stuff. But what we decided is everyone is kind of on their own mission, right? But the way we see it is kind of like a spider web. You all start at these different points around the spider web. But slowly, as you get further along in your journey, you get closer to the center goal. This center goal is these core foundational successes in life. Whatever that is for you. Maybe that is freedom. Maybe that is being the absolute best version of yourself. This center goal. But we all have different journeys to get there. So just because you might look at me or I might look at someone else and say, wow, they are so much further ahead than me in life. We are comparing our entire life, all the good and bad things we've done, because obviously we know everything about ourselves. We know those days where we decided not to wake up when we know we should have. We know those days when we skipped out a little bit early on our workout. We know those days when we lost our temper. We don't see that for these other people. So we look at them and they seem so far ahead in life. But in all reality, they could look right back at you and think the exact same thing. So it's important to understand, even if they might appear ahead, chances are they might not be. They might just be ahead in one area of life. Maybe it's money. And you might be ahead in other areas. So that's number one. Number two, you are on your own mission. This person might be chasing a version of success, such as money, that deep down might not be important to you. So it's important to clarify your version of success, which is where we kind of go into our next point. And that's defining what you actually want out of life. It's impossible to gauge how far along you are in your journey if you don't know what the end of that journey actually looks like, or what the kind of end pool looks like, because of course there's not going to be one single point. So sit down and figure out, what is your version of success? Success is kind of how I clarify it, just because it's super easy to remember.
Super
So what is
easy.
your version of success? Is it freedom? Is it to have a family and raise great kids, have a loving partner? Is it to be filthy rich? What does that look like for you? But you really want to dig deep. Instantly,
Dig
what's going to
deep.
come to your mind is probably money, because we always see success as money for whatever
Success,
reason.
yeah.
But I want you to dig deeper. Why do you really want money? Is it so that you can look cool and have
Look
status?
cool.
If so, status is probably your reasoning.
Cool, cool, cool.
Or is it so that you can have freedom, so you don't have to work, so you can provide cool things for your family, cool experiences? Figure out the reasoning behind why you actually want that money. Dig deep on your version of success. Finally, you can use this as a tool when you start comparing yourself to someone else. Say, does my version of success even align with this person? Chances are it probably doesn't. Because online, the people you're instantly going to compare yourself to, they are probably chasing money. Because people love flaunting money. The chances of your end goal being money is pretty dang slim. So you can use that as a weapon. Say, well, my version of success doesn't even align with this person. They're on their own journey. I'm on mine.
Yeah.
But then what this will allow you to do, and the most important part of finding this version of success, is you can start taking actionable steps to achieve that end goal. So you can say, okay, look, I want freedom. Let's
Freedom.
backpedal. What do I
Freedom.
need to do
Freedom.
in order to get that freedom? And then you can start taking steps every single day to achieve that. That way, your confidence in yourself is there, because you know you're working towards what you truly find
Yeah.
joy in. And you can also look at these other people who before you felt behind on, and say they are on their own path, their own journey. They're chasing money while I'm chasing freedom, for example.
Money. Freedom.
It's kind of a double whammy.
I double money.
So, to leave it with you here, I want you to figure out your version of success
Yeah.
and start taking actionable steps towards achieving that version of success. Now, of course, it's a lot easier said than done. But if you need any help with it, I do have a free community, kind of like I talked about. I have a quiz you can take to decide what you're like struggling with, so on and so forth. And it'll either recommend you to the free community or to elevate just based on your circumstances and what's going to be best for you. So that quiz is down in the description, so feel free to check that out. And we'd love to see you inside of Basecamp for a free little course on really doing what we just talked about in this video. So I hope you enjoyed. I love this kind of stuff. If you can't tell, so subscribe for more videos. I'm going to be posting every day for 30 days. So more videos to come soon. Peace.
Do the days. Wow. Wow. So what to do when you feel behind in love by concentrating and sweeping. The link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out and drop a like if you like. And comment below if you want to see more reaction like this one. And subscribe if you're new. And click the bell so you can be notified below. But wow. Be it true. So literally, yeah. Wow.